Hey everybody, Raven here, and I'm going to talk to you today about silver and what's happened in the recent days. Silver has been absolutely crushed, so has gold, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, to a point that is, I'm not really one of those to say I told you so, but in this instance, I've kind of have to. Let me show you where silver and gold are right now. Gold is at 3,900 an ounce, silver at $46. Ladies and gentlemen, silver was just at 54 literally a week and a half ago. Gold was at almost 4,500. This is an insane drop, but you know what? This has been something that's been coming for quite a while, and it's something that I've talked to a lot of dealers over time. I've been to a lot of different places, coin shops and shows, and you know, when silver goes up big and gold goes up big, you get certain dealers that all they do is push and hype it up and say that, hey, it's going to keep going up, it's going to keep going up. I've watched many times in my lifetime where silver and gold have ramped up and then ramped back down. Now, silver's still sitting at a price that's pretty nice for most people because a lot of people started collecting when COVID happened, and so they are literally, sitting on silver that is they probably paid $18 to $22 an ounce, give or take the premium. So people ask all the time, when is it time to buy? When is it time to sell? Right now, I would say if you bought your silver at like 18 or so, you could still sell, and you're more than doubling it, and you're doing really well if that's the course you want to take. I would also say watch the market very closely because you never know what could happen. It's interesting how these things work out because we see this big giant rise really fast with silver, and now we're seeing a huge pullback. And you know, it's one of those things that discourages some people from being a part of precious metals, and it's one of those other things that keeps people in the precious metals because you buy when it's low, you sell when it's higher. Just like any commodity, any stock, things like that, you try to make sure that you have a diverse portfolio. Like what you see in front of you right now. All this is different stuff. We have Engelhard silver 10-ounce Canadian bar right here. Always cool to have those in your stack. How about a sterling silver belt buckle or the the gavel, my K4 round from my good brother that passed away. Um, you know, this kind of silver here is more novelty because it's stuck in plastic. But I even have the 90 percenter on here, and those old school Losing Louis made these. Now I think he just calls himself Louis Silver, but um, you know, 3.3 ounces of silver. My point being is be diverse in your investments. Make sure that you are watching the market closely. Myself, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do know a lot about precious metals, and I am had a really, really strong track record with saying when I think silver is going to be at and where it's going to go. And it's kind of funny because there's a couple old timers around me that they every time I say, "Hey, silver's going to go back down," no, no, that's not going to happen. No, it happens. It is just part of the ebb and flow of being a silver stacker or collector. Everything runs in cycles. I apologize for my voice. I'm dealing with a little bit of a cold, but I thought it was important to come out here and talk to you guys about this because honestly, I was kind of skeptical for a little while because silver was hovering around that $50 mark, and I was like, well, maybe they're right this time. Maybe it'll settle and stay. But in my heart of hearts and in my brain, I knew, nah, I think this is really going to go down. Now, the key factor, like I said, is to make sure you watch where the market is going. Keep watching silver day after day and, buy when you can get it as low as possible. I know a couple guys in the area that they're known as the spot guys. All they do is buy silver at or below spot. Um, That's kind of hard to accomplish at certain times. You really need to find a way to market yourself, maybe on Facebook or like a Craigslist or something, saying that, hey, I buy silver at spot. Going to the dealers and stuff, that's a little more difficult, but with the refineries being shut down, that's a key thing. Oh, another thing that's affecting the price of silver right now that people don't realize is some major sized mines have come back online or started to produce silver. These factors all make a determination of where these things are going to go. You also have a huge amount of people flooding the market with silver that wasn't available before. So you take these key factors in mind, and if you're watching and you're reading the different news articles, and I mean, you can literally sign into Google or use your Chat GBT or whatever you want to use and say, hey, what's silver at right now? Are there new mines out? What's going on with the future of silver? Things like that, and you'll get articles that will tell you what's going on. So if you couple that with looking at what's going on in the news, your articles that you find, talking to local dealers, be informed, because silver's beautiful, it's awesome. It's something that if you really pay attention to what's going on, you can do really well. You can literally make money and have fun doing it. And some people are skeptical. Raven, you say it's a long-term investment. Yes, it is really by nature a long-term investment. But there's plenty of people that have long-term investments that, like I said, stocks and whatnot, where they're buying when it's low, selling when it's high, because it's just a simple way to do it. That's the smartest way. The one thing that bums me out about this the most is the people that buy in at the highest part of the market because they had the fear of missing out, the FOMO thing going on, and then later they're mad. Well, they weren't properly informed. They got into it too late. And that always happens. And unfortunately, we end up losing stackers that way because they think, well, oh, silver's not worth it. I was going to make money, but I didn't. Remember this: you don't make money or lose money until you sell it. All this in front of me, I probably have a cost average of like $24 an ounce, give or take a dollar. And so right now, I couldn't lose out. If silver dropped to 18, well, actually, if silver dropped below 24, I'd be finally losing out. Now, I can't say that when it was above 50 and it dropped to 46 right now that, well, I just lost $9 per ounce. No, I didn't lose anything because I haven't sold it yet. I still have what I have. And honestly, if I sold what I have, I'd be almost double what I invested into it. So these are key factors into being a stacker and investor in silver and even gold for that matter. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sorry about the voice. If you want to correspond, it's ravenhawkcoins@gmail.com. Our P.O. Box is 721296, Norman, Oklahoma 73070. Like always, please make sure to take care of one another. We'll see you real soon. Ravenhawk Coins, have a great day.